recycling the stuff for work because there are giant paper bins next to the copy machine on campus, so and they go.
I saw you the other day.
Nice spot.
Dogs.
Oh, one of them is mine. The other one's my mother. I think you know my mother-in-law, right?
I had a little, he looked so friendly, it was like he was smiling, he was walking around his
Yes, yeah, that is not because he is vicious, it's not for biting. He could still bite you. It's just a gentle leader. It makes them more calm while they're walking. I don't think, my mother-in-law is a small statue always. 4 months. Yes, we had
about 2 babies in the house at once.
well, that's like, it is kind of like having 2 toddlers, but he's growing up faster than she. She's going to be 3 next month.
She could be, she was so tickled pink to see you. When it was all said and done.
She has been highly socialized with the dogs because we take her out a lot. So
All right, everyone. We are gonna move this along here. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the June 26th special council meeting. Roll call show that Sam Coons is absent this evening. Everyone else is attending. And item 2, agenda review. The staff is requesting that orders 17105 and 17107 be removed from the consent agenda and taken up under new business. And we realized that order 17107 is duplicative of 17113 and 17114. So we're going to ask for a motion to indefinitely postpone order 17107 when we get to new business. Yes, ma'am.
We would also ask that council consider putting an order on, order 17115, which is, you guys have a copy of it in front of you, but it's writing off uncollectible real estate tax balances from FY7 to FY10, totaling $89.66.
Okay. Could I have a motion to add order 17115 to new business, please?
So moved.
Have a
second.
Thank you.
I'll be Sam.
Thank you. All those in favor? Passes unanimously. Thank you very much. We'll move on to, so I'm going to take the new business order as it is and put the others at the end. Is that all right? Okay. Order 1793, order approving the fiscal year 2017-2018 municipal budget. I ask for a motion to waive everything below that.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor? All right. And now I'll take a motion on order 1793. Did I do that right? Yeah.
Move approval.
Second?
All right. All those in favor? All right. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
Forget that last vote. Go ahead, Sophia. Get out of here.
We'll consider.
I would just say that we've spent the last month and a half, almost 2 months now, working on the FY17-18 municipal budget. We had a presentation 2 weeks ago, a public hearing, and received some comment. The council went back to council committee on the 19th and reviewed the budget again, making no major adjustments. So the budget you see here is very similar, if not identical, to the budget that was presented on June 12th. This budget, as presented with the assessments from the school and the county, will result in a mill rate of, well, has a projected mill rate, because we don't have the valuation set yet, of $26.22 per $1,000 of value, or an increase of $1.37 per $1,000 of value. So we went through the public hearing. We received one email which council considered during its committee on June 19th and have moved the budget forward. I don't know how much more in-depth you wish me to get. I provided you with all updated summary sheets and to explain where we were.
Does anyone have any questions or comments for Sophie?
I have a question, Sophie, regarding this new handout this evening.
We'll do that. That's got an order all of its own. Has nothing to do with that. That's for 17, not 18.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Excuse moi.
That's all right, Judy.
We're like in a time warp, you know?
So,
Go ahead.
if I may, I'd just like to comment. I personally agonized over this budget for the last 6 weeks and am not happy with the mill increase. I am cautiously optimistic that one or two or possibly both things might happen. One being that the school system gets more money. I think the talk continues to be that there's going to be more money for education, although we have no idea how that's going to shake out for Orono. And the school committee has said their first priority, if they receive more money, not their only priority, but their first priority is reduction of the impact on taxes. The other thing that I'm hopeful for is that in spite of our manager's wise cautions, that when all is said and done and commitment is made on the total value of the town of Orono, there may be some increase. I know that the additional homestead exemption offsets some of that, but I am hopeful that there may be some increase so that the rate in the end could be less than the 1.37 that is projected at this point. I think we did a very thorough job in reviewing the budget. We met with all department heads, asked a lot of questions. I think to maintain the service that we have, this is a reasonable budget. However, I'm again not happy with the level of increase, and hope that in the end, when all is said and done, it won't be quite that high.
Anyone else? I think Tom said it very well. Do we have anybody in the audience that wishes to make a comment?
I'm Frederica Smith, and I live at 8 Chestnut Court in Orono. I wanted to say that I attended most of the meetings, most of the budget workshops, and had the opportunity to look at a lot of the material that was submitted. I've been very impressed with the amount of work that the staff and the council have put in on trying to develop this budget. I consider it a very responsible budget to maintain the services that the town needs and to continue to maintain the physical property within the community. So thank you all.
Thank you, Frederica.
I would just like to briefly add that if we look at some of the expenses that we incurred, particularly in health insurance, I think the fact that our portion of that 137 was approximately 46 cents, was that correct? I actually think it's remarkable. That is the increase from the town. I really do. I hope we don't suffer the consequences further down the road.
Paul?
Paul Smith, property taxpayer, Orono, Maine. I just want to echo the thank you for the hours and hours of scrutiny, debate, and really hard decisions that each of the town council members and all of our county staff have made on this. Great job. And then a follow-up comment on the projected mill rate of $22.22. You know, of that $26.22, the Penobscot County imposes $1.27 of that. They have their own increases. We all read about the jails not being funded and the underfunding being pushed down onto property taxpayers. Here it is. On May 16th, there was some 35 property taxpayers in Roanoke, Maine attended a school budget hearing at which of that $26.22 projected mill rate, $15.02 is to the schools. And as with the Penobscot County tax, likewise with the RSU 26 schools taxes, none of that is in any way controlled or influenced by you, the town council. So the municipal budget is comes down to, of that $26.22, it looks like it's projected to be about $9.93, which comes to about 38% of the total property tax rate. And so I just hope everybody keeps that in mind when we're thinking about these are unfortunate property tax increases for everybody, but it's the nature of the game now as property taxpayers are faced with paying more and more of the burden of services that others are supposed to be paying for in other means. So again, thank you all very, very much.
Thank you very much, Paul. Anyone else have any questions or comments? If there is none, I will take a vote on Order 1793. All those in favor of passing the budget? Passes unanimously. Thank you very much for everyone's hard work. Order 1794, order authorizing the town manager to increase the FY18 Economic Department expense budget and use of restricted funds to reflect the changes in credit enhancement agreement payments from restricted tax increment finance district funds, which were previously approved by council as estimates, but will be determined by the commitment of FY18 property taxes. Take a motion, please.
So moved?
Second?
Second?
So, the budget that you just passed, in the budget you just passed, we used estimates for the amount of the credit enhancement agreements that council has contractually obligated the town to pay. Those are funded through tax increment financing district funds, so essentially the property taxpayer pays their property tax and gets a portion that council has agreed to refund back. So when you were considering your budget, we allocated a certain amount of money for economic development. A portion of that was credit enhancement agreements to be funded through the restricted tax increment financing district funds. So to ensure that we can keep things seamless, this order is on the agenda tonight so that once we commit property taxes, I can reduce or increase the credit enhancement agreement amount, which is directly, which is set directly through the commitment process. As an example, if we have a credit enhancement agreement that we have estimated at $1,000 today, I've got $1,000 in the expense budget, $1,000 in the revenue budget. If during the process of commitment that is really $1,200, then I can increase my expense budget by the $200, but also increase the revenue use of restricted funds by $200 so that we maintain a balanced budget. Is that?
Does anyone have any questions or comments on that? Hearing none, I'll take a vote on Order 1794. All those in favor? Passes unanimously. Order 1795, order approving the payment of the Penobscot County tax assessment in the amount of $563,323. Take a motion, please.
Move approval.
And a second. There you go. Sophie?
So this order looks a little bit different than it has in the past. In the past, we have said specifically that you authorize us to pay a certain amount. Two things are different. The first is when I wrote this order, we did not yet have a school assessment, so we knew approximately what it was going to be. We received the school assessment this afternoon, and it's actually $6,666,469. Do I have that?
You're on the
About the county.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm down.
You're down one.
So,
Let's do that too.
let's talk about the county.
Very confusing.
This is, this $563,323 is based on the county tax assessment, which we have already received. Your authorization today just simply allows me to pay that in September when it's due.
Any questions on the county tax? Hearing none, I'll take a vote on Order 1795. All those in favor? Passes unanimously. Order 1796, order approving the payment of the RSU 26 tax assessment currently estimated to be $6,666,379. Take a motion, please.
Move approval.
Second?
Here we go. All right, so
Okay, so, as I said, when I was creating the order, we didn't have the formal assessment. That came in this afternoon, which was approximately $99 higher than what is listed on this sheet. The reason I wrote it in this fashion is there has been discussion at the school board about potentially going through a revision of the assessment to the communities to reduce it if they were to get more money from the state. I wanted us to be able to do that. Under state law, we are required to pay the tax assessment regardless. And the way this is written right now will allow us to pay the estimated amount now, and if they change it, we will be able to pay a lesser amount. My thought is if there was a significant reduction, we would come back just to put it on the record of what the assessment ends up being. But for now, it's a little loose, but we have the assessment.
any questions or comments? No, yeah, Sophie, no matter what the number is, if you could just come back so that we all remember what the final assessment is.
Absolutely.
Thank you. All right. Take a vote on Order 1796. All those in favor? Passes unanimously. Thank you. Order 1797, order approving a rate increase to fund the water pollution control facility for FY 2018 of 10 cents per 100 cubic feet per quarter with a minimum metered charge per quarter of $56.40, effective for all charges assessed by the town after January 1, 2018. We'll take a motion, please.
So moved?
Second.
Way to jump it, Jane.
As we reviewed the budget for the water pollution control facility, that budget was based upon this rate increase. 10 cents per 100 cubic feet equates to approximately $1.20 per quarter, or $2.40 for fiscal year 18, because there will only be 2 quarters that people will be billed the additional. Most houses use a little bit more than that, so when we calculate 8,000 cubic feet a year, that turns into $2 per quarter or $4 for the half year. I also, in your background, just let you know that our largest account uses approximately 1.3 million cubic feet per quarter. This results in an increase of $1,300 per quarter or $2,600 a year to our largest account. We made them aware of this long before we even began the budget process, and they've budgeted for it and saw it as reasonable. So last year, we increased by 6 cents. This year, we increased by 10 cents. And likely, in our plan that we originally came to you, there were 2 more increases of 10 cents to bring us up to a place where we could continue to make investments in capital infrastructure.
Any questions or comments? Sophie, this still puts us kind of in the middle to lower range of sewers assessments.
We are the lowest in the region. When we did our study, I think the closest one is $75 to us per year more, and most of them are much higher. That wouldn't be me advocating to necessarily charge what everybody else charges, but yeah, we're definitely on the low end of sewer fees.
Okay. Great. So I will take a vote on Order 1797. All those in favor? Passes unanimously. Thank you. Order 1798, order approving the water pollution control facility budget for FY 2017-2018 in the amount of $1,494,925 for operations and $360,000 for capital improvements, for a total of $1,854,925. Take a motion, please.
Move approval.
Second.
So,
When we reviewed the water pollution control facility budget, the first thing that I made everybody aware of is the fact that this budget is not funded through general fund taxes. This budget is funded entirely through sewer user fees. The $1,494,925 represents a slight increase. However, it is maintaining all of our services and the investments into reserve allocations. The $360,000 for capital improvements is primarily associated with a major project on Mill Street. We have a crumbling main that we need to fix on Mill Street. But so all in all, this is a pretty level, the level of service isn't changing, and we're able to continue to meet the capital need.
great. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, I'll take a vote on Order 1798. All those in favor? Passes unanimously. Order 1799, order approving the 5-year capital investment forecast, 2018 to 2022, for the town and water pollution control facility. I'll take a motion, please.
So move.
Second.
Thank you. Sophie?
We reviewed the 5-year capital investment plan during the budget process, not only for what we would expend in FY18, but also looking forward. That is to try to keep us focused on the priorities in the community. It is subject to some shifting, but for example, in FY19, we are planning to replace a culvert on Route 2 in the dip right before you get to VZ. That is something that you will be considering accepting grant money for in July, and we will sign contracts for in July. But most everything else is still pretty movable within the 5-year plan.
Anyone have any questions or comments? Hearing none, I'll take a vote on Order 1799. All those in favor? Passes unanimously. All right. Order 17100, order adopting the Village Center District Development Program and establishing the boundaries of the district. Said district shall include real and personal property located on land shown on Orono tax maps as follows. Tax map 19-4, lots 61 through 67, map 27-2, lots 17 through 25, 47 48, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 67, 58, 59, 60, 62, 63, 119, 120, through 126, 139 through 146. Map 27-12, lots 1 through 35. And the map is on file in the assessor's office at the municipal building. The preceding map and lot numbers encompass an area generally described as follows. Most properties abutting Route 2 from Harmony Realty Limited Partnership, occupied by People's United Bank, to Murray's Campus Service, 5 properties on Forest Avenue, properties abutting Canal, Oak, and Summer Streets, most properties abutting Mill Street from Route 2 to Buyer Manufacturing, properties abutting the west side of Pleasant Street, most properties abutting Pine Street from Route 2 to Birch Street, and 6 Myrtle Street. I did that, I don't usually do that, but I wanted everybody to understand how large an area we were talking about. I will take a motion on Order 17-100.
So moved?
Second.
Sophie?
So the Orono Village District, Center District, is a tax district that the council created many, many years ago. And it would allow council, if it chose, to assess a village tax. It definitely requires us to create the development plan, which you heard about at the public hearing for what we would like to do in the development district. The difference in this from previous years would be the 5 properties that were added on Forest Avenue, which are in bold for that reason.
Does anyone have any questions or comments about this order? Hearing none, I'll take a vote on Order 17-100. All those in favor? Passes unanimously. Moving on to Order 17-101. Order establishing the amount of implementation assessments of Village, gotta flip it over, Village Center Tax District for July 1, 2017 to June 30th, 2018 fiscal year at $0 per thousands of dollars of valuation on all real and personal property located within the district as of April 1, 2016, and hereby committing said assessments to the tax collector of the town of Orono for collection in accordance with the authority established under 30-A MRSA Section 5255, subsection 5. Take a motion on that?
Move approval.
Second.
Thank you.
I don't know if you would entertain a friendly amendment to change it to April 1 of 2017.
I would. The maker of the motion would.
Okay. So your friendly amendment to your motion was to change it from July 1, 2017 to April 1, 2017?
Yes, I can't.
No, I was asking.
Yes.
Perry, okay. Do I need a second? Do we need a second on that? Second? All right. Okay. Anything further than that?
This is the district tax that I spoke of earlier. Council determined that there were sufficient tax increment financing district funds to perform the development plan goals for the year, and has established, or this order would establish, there's still a tax assessment, it's just 0.
Thank you. Any questions or comments? All right, I will take a vote on Order 17-101. All those in favor? Passes unanimously. Order 17-102, order approving the 2017-2018 fee schedule to be effective July 1, 2017. I have a motion, please.
Move approval.
Second, please.
Second.
Thank you.
The fee schedule was distributed and reviewed at the public hearing on June 12th. There have been no changes to that since our public hearing, and the changes that were offered at public hearing were fairly minor.
Any council members have any questions or comments about that? All right, I will take a vote on Order 17102. All those in favor? Passes unanimously. Order 17103, order authorizing the town managers to sign an agreement with the town of VZ to provide emergency medical services. Motion, please.
So moved?
Second.
All right, Sophie?
This has been an item that we have discussed multiple times at committee and in workshop, in an effort to try to increase our revenue and to find a cost share that was more equitable with the town of VZ. Over the spring, the VZ town manager and I met several times. What we have arrived at is an agreement that in short term says that we will provide the best services that we are able to, and in return, we will receive $200 per call regardless of whether we transport. So every call we make to VZ, we will bill the town of VZ $200 for, and we will receive all of any billing revenue. So anything that we bill that we collect, we will keep 100% of that. It also provides a clear opportunity if for some reason financial or operational constraints made it not possible for us to offer the service, we can reopen this and there is an out clause that we didn't have before. This is a one-year contract with the plan that the managers would meet in early spring and bring recommendations before April 1st to both councils as to whether we should renew with changes or terminate the agreement, not renew the agreement.
Anybody have any questions, comments?
I have a comment,
Sure.
not a question. I'd just like to commend our town manager and Mark Leonard, the BZ town manager, for being able to come up with a much more equitable contract for services. This is a vast improvement, and I'm really pleased to see the work that's been done.
So I just had one question. When I read it, maybe I read it wrong, it seemed like we have to give a 6-month notice for termination if we want to terminate it by April 1, which puts it back into October.
I believe
And I was just wondering.
that is a typo in the contract. Because the 6 months is a holdover from the last one. So what
Okay.
I will do, the intent is for it to be 3.
Good.
So I will just bring that to Mark's attention. We have an appointment scheduled to review this. That's a good catch, thank you.
I was just concerned that October might be not long enough time to evaluate so. All right, thank you. So I'll take a vote on Order 17103. All those in favor? Passes unanimously.
Do you want to make any reference to the change in the terms in that approval?
You can if you want. I know that what I've just asked council to sign is an agreement that tells us by April 1st we have to make a decision, not by October, so I'm not going to sign.
Oh, okay. I just thought we could just friendly amend it so that,
Oh, that's fine.
otherwise we're approving something that isn't real.
Nance, do we need a friendly amendment? If you would like to amend it, we can. It doesn't have to be, but is that your wish, Judy, to amend?
Well, I just, if we're approving what's written, then that's not what we're approving. We're approving, we're approving that the time frame will be changed, so I think it should be amended.
Okay, so that's your motion.
Yes.
Yes.
Second.
All right, Tom seconds. Any other questions? Then I will take a vote on the amendment. All those in favor? Passes unanimously. All right, moving on to Order 17104.
Well, he did, I guess.
Yeah, you want me to vote on it again?
As
Okay.
amended.
Sorry. been corrected? That's okay. So we're now going to vote on the whole order 17103 as amended.
Yep.
All those in favor? All right. Still passes. Order 17104, order authorizing the town manager to sign an agreement with Evan Rickard for independent contractor services as town planner for a term of 1 year, July 1st, 2017 to June 30th, 2018. Take a motion, please.
Move approval.
Second.
Sophie?
Sadly, this will be the last contract that we have with Evan for his town planning services. We weren't expecting it, so we're very glad that he was willing to stay with us. What you will notice is this is significantly less time than he has put in the past, and there is a scope of work within the contract that I put in your background, but this is much more project-based work, so it's working to continue with council on the implementation of the comprehensive plan, dealing with the vernal pools, special area management plan, SAMP, that council has wanted us to work on, working on the Taylor Road mitigation project that he currently has underway. He also will be working to bring on board our new planner. We are in the final stages of reference checks for that. If all reference checks come out the way we believe, she will be starting in late August. So he has agreed to continue to staff the planning board until she is ready to take that over. Our planning board is very well run, and I think in large part Evan has a lot to do with that. And we want to make sure that that's a smooth transition for the volunteers who give their time on the planning board. So this is, in fact, we had talked during the budget process of, Evan had thought he might want to come on as an employee and no longer have his business. He has opted not to do that. We have a predetermination letter from the workers' compensation board telling us that he is, in fact, meets the independent contractor status test. So if this is the way Evan wants to continue, I think it's a great way to continue.
Anyone have any questions or comments on Order 17104? He is a valuable asset that we will take for whatever time he will give us. I will take a vote on Order 17104. All those in favor? Passes unanimously. Moving on to 17105, order approving the FY municipal budget adjustments. Take a motion, please.
Move approval.
Second?
Sophie.
So I have two proposed fiscal year 17 current year we're in that ends on Friday. The first one is something that we had talked about and we have taken direction on, but as I go back into the record, I do not find formal council action. And that was to increase the building permit revenue budget in FY17 by $45,000 and create an assessing project expense line for $45,000. So that was adjustment number one. Adjustment number two is, let me see if I can explain this easily. In FY17, when you adopted that budget, you adopted economic development, our expenditures for economic development in multiple TIF accounts. In FY18, your intention is to use one economic development account that is funded by multiple TIF dollars. It is a much cleaner way to do it. Talking with the auditor, it would make sense for us to make that adjustment now in FY17 so that when we roll, we will be in good shape with all the accounts established. This does not spend any more money than you approved in FY17. It simply takes the expenditure approvals out of the individual TIF accounts with their own individual balances and moves that to the general fund with one departmental budget, which I put on the back in Exhibit A.
Yep.
And it also clearly defines what will come out of each of the TIF districts to pay for that.
Any questions or comments about the proposed budget adjustments?
I do have a question.
Sure.
I'm sure it's probably just because I'm not seeing it. We're increasing the budget for building permits. I'm assuming that that money came in. That's revenue that came in, and what was the source of that, predominantly?
Predominantly, it was building permits issued to the Avenue.
That's what I thought. So it's a wash. We're putting money in revenue and taking it on expenses.
So, yeah, when we decided that it was very important to embark on the assessing data collection process, council asked me where the money was going to come from. And so this was the thought.
Any other questions or comments? All right, hearing none, I will take a vote on Order 17105. All those in favor? Passes unanimously. I will take a motion on Order 17107 to indefinitely postpone the order.
So moved.
Second?
Do you need any explanation on this, Sophie, or? It's just duplicative of two other orders already on the consent order. All right, I will take a vote on Order 17107. All those in favor of postponing? Passes unanimously. Order 17115, which is over here, which is in order to write off of collectible real estate tax balances for FY07 to FY10 totaling $89.66. I'll take a motion, please.
Move approval.
Second?
Thank you. Sophie, do you want to?
This is tax assessed to a very small parcel of vacant land. It was assessed from 2007 to 2010 to the wrong owner. It was assessed to the ex-husband as opposed to the current owner. We cannot go back and collect those taxes because it was not a valid assessment. So our new assessor has walked me through this process, and her recommendation is that we go ahead and write these off, this $89.66, and see what happens as far as collection in the future. We can take action in future.
We do know who the legitimate owner of this piece of land is now.
We do know who the legitimate owner is. We're having some difficulty finding said owner, but we do know who it is.
Having once been the owner of that property?
Any questions or comments? Hearing none, I will take a vote on Order 17115. All those in favor? Passes unanimously. And now I will take a motion to move the consent agenda.
So moved?
Thank you. Can I have a second, please?
Second.
Thank you. Any comments? Hearing none, I will take vote on the consent agenda. All those in favor? Passes unanimously. Thank you. Okay. Yeah, we're moving on to public comments. Is there any? Nope. All right. And having none? Yeah.
I just have just a couple of things if I could.
Okay.
I don't see that there's any other place for me to say them. The first is just reminding counselors that non-mandatory staff, so people outside of public safety, have been given an opportunity and have availed themselves to utilize accrued benefit time on the 3rd of July. So we will be closed Monday the 3rd to non-emergencies, and Tuesday the 4th is a holiday. So I just want to make you aware of that. The other thing, we've begun having some discussions among staff around the potential of a state government shutdown and what that would mean to us. In many ways, business is going to continue as usual in Orono. The ambulances are going to go out. We're going to be fully staffed every day like we normally would be. This is why we have fund balance, so if revenue sharing and general assistance and other intergovernmental revenues are not flowing on time, we will be in good stead. If there become issues, I will make sure that council is aware of them. One of the things that we know is going to happen if the state shuts down, it means that if people have issues with motor vehicle licenses, registrations that we normally would call the state and work through, there won't be anybody answering the phone. So some people might not be able to get their cars registered or inland fisheries registrations or licenses. Straightforward routine ones we'll be able to continue to do. One of the decisions that I've made, and I just want to make sure council is okay with, in talking with the Bureau of Motor Vehicles, we've gone ahead and made an additional request for inventory, because like the stickers and the plates, to make sure that our people will be able to continue to get those. The state has indicated that, or had indicated that we should make more of a request for inventory because we're so close to Bangor, and people might want to come to Orono to register their vehicles. I made the executive decision to not offer our services beyond the town, beyond residents of the town who would be eligible normally for our services. So I'm not planning to make any arrangements to collect excise for another community. I'm not, for $3 a registration, I'm not going to become the state, do what happens for Bureau of Motor Vehicles. That seemed like an incredible burden to place on my staff at year end for very little return. I think it's important that we go the extra mile to help Orono residents, and if a town was calling with need, I would offer advice, guidance, help like we would anyway, but I don't think it's fair to stretch the resources available to Orono residents that they're paying for because the state doesn't want to provide its service. And I bring that up today because if I'm making the wrong decision, I would like to hear that from council.
Anybody have any comments?
The comment from the state was directed specifically to Bangor, or to the Bangor area?
To Orono. It was directed directly to Shelley.
Yeah,
that given our proximity to Bureau of Motor Vehicles that will not be open, that towns can make arrangements. And if somebody pays their excise in their home community, you can go finish that registration at Bureau of Motor Vehicles. Some towns will allow you to finish it at your community.
Yep.
And there are some times that we've been closed for training. We had training and somebody really needed to get their car registered. We made a call over to Old Town, and Old Town took the excise as a check made out to the town of Orono and completed the registration for us and gave us the check. Towns will do that on a one-off emergency kind of basis, not as a normal course of business.
Gotcha.
I would be concerned with the reconciliation of all that different materials, especially at our year end where we've got stuff going on. Any other questions or comments? Anything else? Nope. Okay. Moving on to the discussion of the FY18 council work plan. As far as the committee assignments and committee development, how that's going to work, it's going to take a little bit longer time to figure out than what I've put into it at this point. So I would like to talk about that on July 10th. It's 10th, right? So I don't know if anyone has a burning desire to talk about the work plan now, or if you would like to wait till the 10th.
Yep, that's fine.
Okay. All right, we'll move on that discussion.
No, really.
All right, so Clint's making a motion over
I
here.
have a short time, right? So
Go ahead, Clint.
and I've got 9 months. I'm not, I've got to wait to go.
Clint has moved for adjournment. Need a second.
Second.
All right, all those in favor? Just want to thank council, you did a great job. Thank you very much for putting all the time in for the budget, and we'll get ready for FY18.
Indeed, we will.
Just to remind you folks that I'm off.
I am too.
Oh, while we're still live, but, so I wanted to congratulate Grandpa Spitz.
Oh, a very exciting time. Here's the details.
And his mom and dad, or Aurora's mom and dad.
All right.
Yes.
So Aurora, I got a text message a little bit ago. Lady Combs died today. Certified as being in the home. Awesome. Congratulations.
Mother and daughter are well.
Mother and daughter are well. Great.
That is wonderful.
And hopefully Ryan's back in the legislature.
Tomorrow, I think, but he does consider his family home.
I will tell you, I've heard right from the source that he is sorely missed.
Thank you, everyone. Have a good evening.
So that's interesting.
Not as the arguments are done.
Oh, this is usually.
That's just how he is.
I just saw all that. When he brought it to the store, and I said,
Right. So it gets kind of sticky.
I was downstairs. I was taking a shower. Actually, so she said, "The police are here."
Oh, no.
I go,